Hey, you know what time it is? It is Saturday afternoon, a little bit at 4, Square One, episode 24, the pre-Super Bowl show. We got two of the usual suspects in the house. That would be Mr. Onzo and Mr. Ben Diesel. How y'all doing?
Doing good. I'm glad you unblocked me before I was able to say something. Unmuted me, sorry.
I'm telling you, the old memory, man. I can't multitask, man, like I used to. So I'm doing the best that I can. But I appreciate it.
It's all good. It's all good.
Though, I ain't got my correct background up. I gotta find my correct background. That's for something.
I was gonna say, are we going all black curtain? Because I got to do some research.
No, I'm trying to see what can I put up there. My usual is Mr. Jordan, and I'm gonna always rock with him. Boom. There you go. Go, Mr. MJ. How you doing, sir? Good to see you. Greatest of all time. Now,
second greatest.
Here we go.
Don't you ever send me no Tim Duncan stuff with the word "goat" in it? Okay, you wasted precious phone space on my doggone. I was like, wow.
So wait, you didn't watch that shit? You didn't watch it?
I did not.
Of course, you did not watch.
I will not put. I'm gonna say this. Real talk. Tim Duncan is not in my GOAT conversation ever. Now, for the greatest all-time power forward, I will give him that. He is the greatest power forward the NBA has ever seen. But greatest player, I'm not going to ever say that.
But you got to watch the video, though. That's what I'm telling you. If you watch the video and you hear what they say, you will change that. I'm telling you, you have to.
I will never ever put Tim Duncan ahead of Jordan. I don't care what they say.
I'm not saying you have to put him against ahead of Jordan, but he has to be in the category.
Okay. I might listen to it, but I don't think it's going to change my mind, bro. To me, Jordan is the alpha and omega of basketball.
It's the old age thing. You guys can't get with the new, you know. You know what I mean?
Call it what you want.
Because you know what?
You know
who's gonna have the same problem that LeBron James is having now if his career stays going the way it's going? Patrick Mahomes. When his career is done, if he does what we all think he could do or what he's supposed to do, win pure championships, get records, he is going to have that same problem that LeBron is having right now.
If Patrick Mahomes can go to 10 or 12 Super Bowl appearances and win 6, even 7, I'll say that he's 1A, 1B. I'll say that. I'll say right now, Jordan is 1A, LeBron is 1B. But I would never put LeBron ahead of Jordan.
Right. I get it. And that's what you're saying about Mahomes. You'll never put Mahomes ahead of
if he win more, let's just say they go on this winning streak. He beats Tom Brady Sunday. And he goes and wins another 5 or 6. I might be, I don't know, man. Tom was nice, but damn, this young boy coming here and he beat the GOAT at the time, and he strung off another 6 or 7.
So let's go back to what Roberto said. What if he doesn't beat Tom Brady, but he still wins like 6 or 7 championships?
I don't think that's really a key point, but some people might say, like splitting hairs. If he wins, he's a GOAT. If he doesn't, not so much. Me, I'm going to look at the whole thing. Did he win it? Finals MVPs? Like, did he win as much? If he wins as much final MVPs and everything is pretty much on par, but he didn't beat Tom Brady tomorrow, it's kind of like splitting hairs on that, bro. One day you might say yeah, one day you might say no.
I got you.
All right.
And it's how he does it too, right?
Yeah.
It's how he does it too. It's how Mahomes does it too, you know? He's a little freak of nature.
Yeah. One thing I think is going to hurt him, people always say that Tom Brady did more with less. Mahomes always had good receivers. His defense is coming up now, getting better, and I think they're going to say he has more weapons because he had like a number one receiver and a number one tight end. I can't remember Tom Brady ever having that except one season, and that was with Gronk and Randy Moss. So
I agree with that, but again, we don't know what kind of team he's going to have 5 years from now, right?
You're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And you can't really hold circumstance against results.
Yeah, I agree.
It'll be an interesting topic. All right, as always, we usually start off with our NBA questions first, and the first question out the gate is going to be Mr. King James. LeBron says no to All-Star game. I think in a recent interview, he's made a statement that he's not excited about All-Star games. He's not even wanting there to be All-Star games, and he will not participate in any of the All-Star games if there is. What do you feel about that? Mendiza, go first.
I was just talking to Onzo about that today. I feel it's just because if you look at all pro sports, they canceled this one event, the Pro Bowl, the NHL All-Star. I believe some minor canceled their All-Star events as well. And you have to keep in mind on two factors with the NBA. They came in before Christmas to do that for the NBA. We were all thankful they gave us our traditional Christmas basketball games, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now, the reason why all these teams aren't playing is because they're afraid of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
In all those sports, you don't really have, other than hockey, all the best players in one particular area. Now, let's just say what happened with Durant happens at the All-Star. What's going to happen to the regular season? That's just my outlook on that. I understand why they don't want to play, because while
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I don't think I ever seen a catastrophic injury at an All-Star game. I can't remember one. But
yeah, but he's not talking about injury because I didn't even know.
I'm talking the virus.
He was
I thought you were saying
talking about the
Kevin Durant. I thought it's about Kevin Durant getting hurt. Okay.
No, what he's talking about is because
Durant was a medical issue. It was Go ahead, Onzo.
No, explain to him because I was going to explain to him, but you know better than I did because I didn't even know the story.
Because it was for COVID-related reasons. He was pulled out of the game twice. He got pulled out, went back in the game, got pulled out again, and couldn't go back in. He even tweeted something, let me in or something along those lines. You know? Like, this is the kind of shit that we're seeing because of the situation we're in right now. So do you really, with no fans there, because you know, if this All-Star game goes, it's for the people, it's for the networks. It's not really necessarily for the people. There'll be no fans. Maybe they'll get some TV ratings, but again, who's that go to?
You're right. Usually it's All-Star weekend and it's for fans and everybody comes celebrate. They have kids from schools who get these free tickets to come and hang out for the All-Star weekend. But you're right. If they do it, who's it for?
What professional All-Star sport gathers people together?
Whoa, cut out, bro. Right in the middle of his conversation. Yeah, me personally, I don't care if they have an All-Star game. I don't like the All-Star game anyways with what they did to it. So you're back? Okay, you can finish what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm back. Go ahead, man. That shit just went off again. We're talking BC talk.
You were asking me a question. You were saying what franchise
what other professional sport that has all-star activities derives more around the fans than the NBA?
None.
Exactly. So without them being there, what is this big push to have it done when you know you have someone like, because I believe LeBron wasn't the first guy to speak out. It was some rookie who probably wasn't even going to be in the All-Star game But he spoke out saying, I don't see the logic in having it where no other sport is. And we just played, we didn't even get a rest.
Mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I got a theory about why they want to do it because, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm 50 years old now. I have never seen a Pro Bowl game in my life because it's not boring. I mean, it's not entertaining to me. I don't even click in to see it. As you know, I don't watch baseball. The only thing that I have watched since the first one is All-Star Weekend. I've never missed a slam dunk. I never missed a three-point contest. The game's kind of back and forth depending on what I'm doing. But it's going to draw a lot of money because in my community, it's kind of like the Super Bowl tomorrow. We go and visit each other, or we go somewhere and check out Super Bowl, or we on the phones. Hey, did you see that dunk? Did you see that? So I think the network still want to cash in on the viewership part, not the actual people coming in, because they're losing money.
Agree.
They're losing money already from gate sales, so that's not even factoring in. But they know they get more viewership for All-Star Weekend, All-Star Night, the rookie game. Most people watch that. My fellas, like I said, my group right here, we watch that and we be talking, and we probably won't get together because of situation, but we're gonna be on the phone, man. Did you see that? Or it's gonna be conversation next day. So I'm thinking that's why the NBA want to do it because it's such a big event. Is it right? No, but you can't make the argument. Why would you want to bring all the top players in? Because basically during the playoffs, they did that in the bubble. It wasn't all the top players, but it was a good portion of them.
But they're in a bubble. That's the whole argument. When they're in the bubble, they were in control. There's no more bubble. So some shit that happened last night could happen again for whatever reason because they're doing this new kind of testing that the results are more likely to be wrong than positive, And then you're finding out later on, oh shit, he was positive. But then, you have to quarantine everybody that's around him.
Mm. Flash said it was DeAndre Fox who said it.
Exactly. Thank you, Flash. I'm so glad you're back, brother.
But he said he's not a rookie. He is a borderline.
I thought he was. They said he was. I don't know. They didn't really make mention of him, and I never saw this guy before. So.
Yeah, no, he's. I think this might be his second year, to be honest with you. He's good, bro. He's good. But Flash said on, so they changed the All-Star game to honor Kobe. Yes, this year. But when they started doing the captains and picking teams, that's when I checked out. I was always East versus West. I like that. I wanted them to keep it like that. So when they switched it to this picking captains shit, I checked out. I don't like it.
And what about the slam dunk?
The 15, slam dunk,
15 tries to get a 50.
Yeah, has been up and down. You know what I mean? But more down than up in recent years. You see, again, another thing about the slam dunk contest is when we were watching it back in the day, they had like 8 good dunkers. Now it's 4. You know what I mean? I'm like, why not keep it the way it was?
Yeah, but I think a lot of that's voluntary. Those players back then wanted to do it. These players here now are people that want to make a name for themselves because that's an individual notoriety. You don't really see any of the big stars. I mean, big mega stars. Like you don't see.
But you did back in the day. Yeah, that's
the Giannis. I think Giannis was in it one year, maybe.
No, the slam dunk.
Yeah.
Not that I remember. And hold on. Yes, I did say De'Aaron. I didn't say DeAndre Flash. I said De'Aaron.
But in all honesty, do you want to see the Greek Freak dunk? No, I don't want to see this guy dunk. He's like 7 foot. You're expected to dunk. I want to see this guy come out of nowhere, 6'3", just skying, and 6'5".
It depends on your showmanship. Look how Howard did it those years.
Howard did some creative shit.
And look at Kenny Skywalker. He won it back in the 80s and 90s, early 90s. He was 7 feet tall. It just depends on your showmanship. To me, a shorter dunker looks better. And it's more like Spudwell one of that year. I was like, damn, I ain't never seen that short.
Carter.
Do all that stuff.
Vince Carter.
Vince Carter was
Vince
a
Carter
beast.
is the Jordan of dunk competition for me.
I'm
I'm
tell you, it was
sorry.
nice too. If you ever seen, go back and watch the one
Well-
where Steve Francis was in.
I'll say,
Yeah,
I'll
Steve
say,
Francis is dangerous. Dominique is dangerous, but Vince Carter blew shit up.
okay, but Vince Carter dunks in that dunk contest were amazing. He was the best, but that was
Yeah,
not
for,
the
I
best.
just said for the dunk
Oh,
contest.
okay.
I'm not
Yeah, yeah.
talking NBA. Just for the dunk contest.
No, I know, but that dunk contest was not the best dunk contest. It was
Yeah,
really
the
boring
best
because it was only really him.
No, I didn't
The
say
best
contest.
dunk-
Hanzo.
Oh,
I'm just saying him in general, not that
Yeah.
that competition. Just him in general.
The best dunk that I got really excited about it was old boy from with the spinning thing. Had that the
Aaron
guy
Gordon.
Aaron Gordon and the other guy.
Oh
Those
yeah,
two.
that
Levine.
one was the best one ever for me.
They
Ever.
should
Me too.
that should have been
Ever.
a tie because they was like tit for tat.
Yeah,
And it was first dunks. It wasn't no missing.
yeah. That's what I'm
That's
talking about.
That was
So-
the best dunk contest ever. Not just
Yeah. I'm getting
ever.
goosebumps
I
thinking
can't say
about
that
it.
now because man, I get excited when I think about Jordan and Dominique, which I think
Yeah, but
Dominique was cheated. I think he was cheated, but just the hype of that man.
that was a good dunk contest, Danny,
Yeah.
but they did not do the shit that these
Yeah,
guys
you're right.
did.
I didn't
man.
see that shit coming with those two guys. I mean,
Oh.
just like talking about it, I'm getting goosebumps because that
Yeah.
was
He jumped.
insane.
You see, remember when Blake Griffin
Gordon, I
was-
thought got robbed,
yeah, he
but
did.
you know, you should have said that should have been the first one going to both of them
Yeah, absolutely.
because they both. Danny said he did it on their first dunks.
Because you remember when Blake Griffin was in the dunk contest, right? And he
Did
did
it?
the jump over the car.
Yeah.
That was weak. But
Yeah.
when Aaron Gordon jumped over the mascot, because he didn't do what they regularly do. Sometimes they'll jump over and they spread their legs open, looks like they jump over.
No, he
right?
did like a sitting position.
He did a sitting position and actually jumped over that guy. I was
And
like,
took the
holy
ball from the
shit.
mascot that was spinning.
Yes.
What the? Who
That's
thinks
my
of that?
favorite dunk.
Did he
Yeah.
get some BC chronic?
Mhm.
Where did he
That's my
come up with
favorite
that?
dunk.
Yeah,
Out
that was
of that
sick.
whole contest, that one was my favorite.
But they mostly don't
because
like him
did a
because he
spin
did it 3
too.
years in a row and
Mhm.
lost all three. And that
Mhm.
last competition, I can't think who he was against. It was somebody.
He was
Yeah,
robbed twice.
The
I
guy
can
was
say
good, but he wasn't good as Gordon, man.
No,
So I don't
he
know
was
what it
robbed
is. They got.
But why don't they take those things into consideration, Danny? Like I just said, the reason why I lose interest in the slam dunks now is because they're getting creative that you need 10 tries to maybe do it once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
But
Why
you
don't
know,
you come with a dunk that, as you go, if you got to do a second one, the highest you can get is a 45. And if you got a third, the highest you can get is a 40. Like,
I agree.
let them lose something for not
Mhm.
making it on
Yeah.
their first.
I can go with that. But like the year that Nate Robinson went against Howard, man, to me I enjoyed every bit of that. And I know Nate tried like 6 or 7 times. He finally got it. But man, that sucker's like 5 foot nothing.
He deserves that.
Something like that. I'm like, good. Man. He won it like 3 times in a row, if I'm not mistaken.
And that one that he lost to Dwight Howard, he should have won it. Because I don't care what anybody says, that last Superman dunk was not a fucking dunk. No one can tell me it was a dunk. It was not a
Trey threw it
dunk.
down in the thing.
Yeah.
It
not
looked
a
good,
dunk.
but it wasn't a dunk.
Yeah, it looked good, but no, it wasn't a dunk.
Flash said they said they want to do other All-Star games to raise money for HBCUs, but people think that's just an excuse. If they do it for that, then I don't have a problem with it. If the players feel comfortable, they should be made to do it if they don't feel comfortable.
I agree. And again, like I said, I don't like the fucking picking the captains of the teams. I don't like
I like
that.
that. I think it's fair. I think it's better.
I don't. I love the East and West rivalry. Once they did that, they took away that rivalry.
Yeah, but
man.
sometimes the East is like, now.
But the East has, even though the East was like, the East has won more than the West, or it's about even because there was one year
more in the West because the West is kicking their ass now.
I'm telling
You
you,
know
it's
who
about
brought?
even.
You know who tilted the scale? I think it was when it was Kobe and Shaq in the All Star. That's when the scale started tipping towards the West.
No,
Prior
because
to that, I think
no,
no.
because they had that one, and Allen Iverson took over one of those All-Star games and took it from those guys.
You won, but that's where they started to make their. Because I remember the East dominating when I was young. The East was the strongest. The West was coming along. The West came along fast. They came along fast. It wasn't, progressively. They came and they said, hey, because I think, there was a lot up in the runnings for the All-Star game back in the day. Wasn't there? There was a lot of things there that they had to benefit from winning an All-Star game. Because you notice the second half, the first half was like a circus, doing all these stupidities. The second half, it became serious. And those guys played serious ball. And to go back to Danny, when he said he doesn't really watch the Pro Bowl, back in the day, those guys used to play hard, man. You don't remember that cornerback from my team that took that kicker out in the Pro Bowl? Taylor?
Yeah.
You got to watch that, Danny. Back in the day,
I'm not a big fan of the Pro Bowl either.
I'm not either. But it used to be entertaining back in the day, and then it got too TV-ish, and I lost interest.
I'm trying to see who won the most. Who won?
Yeah, I'm trying to say that too.
I know it was close at one time because they were making mention of it.
Yeah, just a couple years ago.
Really?
Yeah. East versus West most wins.
Just say though, East won 37, the West won 29. So the West won about 8 more games than the East.
Okay.
I mean, the East won 8 more games than the West.
In the West, yeah.
Up till now?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I tell you.
There's only been 60-something games. 66 games.
Yeah, I was telling you. Yeah, exactly. Because at one point, like you said, the East was dominating, and then the West started to come over with Shaq and them. I think that's probably when they tied it up.
They was doing Philadelphia, Celtics, Pistons, Bulls heyday. So, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. That's for me. That's just the way I like it. I like the rivalry of it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, my conference versus your conference. I like that shit.
I think it's more interesting because you would never. Because I would love to have seen maybe Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant play on the same team, but the way it was comprised back then, we would never see that. So I mean, I guess it's what you like.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't know. I think doing that too also gets these players to be like, oh my God, I had a good chemistry with this guy. Maybe I can try and get on his team, or he can get on my team, or some crap. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah, I'm tired of that. These teams getting together, super team crap.
Nate Robinson will be up because he got knocked out like a child does. Curses at his mom. Boy, Flash is cold, boy. You don't care.
You know what? Come to think about it, I used to laugh so much more, and I know why now. Because Flash would make some comments, man. He had me laughing hard.
Because LeBron from the East his entire career until LeBron went to Lakers. What?
Because LeBron was in the East his entire career. We're talking about the All-Star game.
Yeah. All right. Question number 2. Kevin Durant says that people are complaining about Harden's defense, but he said his defense is underrated. What do you think, Anzo?
I think he's just saying that shit because he's his teammate. Yes. Because his defense is not underrated. His defense is non-existent, especially in big games. And you could just go online and you could just Google like James Harden defense, and you could see like there's literally plays where he's just standing around, not doing shit. Guys burning past him and shit like that. Nah, man. You see, and that's another thing too. This is why I'm always going to be into the old school basketball, because these guys didn't take off possessions, man. You know what I mean? Even LeBron does it. Takes off possessions, doesn't play as hard. You know what I mean? But when game's on the line, Jordan, I don't ever remember Jordan taking a possession off. I don't ever remember Tim Duncan taking a possession off. I don't ever remember seeing Patrick Ewing taking a possession off. They just never did it.
You're right.
Because I think the reason why, because if you go back to those games, man, those games was like won by 1 point sometime, walk-off shots. Now the NBA is so fast and so
I was gonna say
oriented that sometimes the scores is 25, 25 points. So like, man, why I'm going to expend this energy when we up by 25, 2 minutes left? And in the old NBA, we never saw this load management. Now everybody's trying to do that. And that is the brainchild of your coach. Now it's spread through the whole doggone NBA.
First off, it is not the brainchild of my old coach. It was done for a different reason than it is being done now.
That's just like somebody takes a good idea and then they doggone what's the word I want? They fuck it up. Just like the internet. The internet is a good idea. It allows you. No, I'll give you that he did something differently. But somebody will take something and totally mess it up.
Yeah, I agree.
He brought out a good idea to protect his people and his players at a particular time. But somebody said, "Oh, I'm gonna do this right here. And I'm gonna do such," and they doggone just mess it up. So I'm not saying he did it for a crazy reason or a wrong reason. He did it for the right reason. They took his idea
and ran with it.
And now everybody, the teams
and their mamas.
Teams now in the regular season, they are arresting people. But I will say too, in their defense, they're playing more games now. They're playing like every other night. That's a lot of wear and tear on the body. So,
well, I wouldn't say they were playing more games because it's always been an 82 season. They're playing more. They're playing more back to backs.
Yeah, more back. And then
the schedule is messed up.
And then what's kind of unfair about that to the fan? I can't afford them tickets sometimes. So let's say I get together and I buy this $400 ticket. I want to see LeBron James or Kawhi Leonard or whoever playing, and they take it right off. I'm gonna be pissed.
Bro, did you say $400?
I'm just saying that, use that as an example.
Okay. No. But that's what I was gonna say. When I went to go see the Toronto and Cleveland playoff game, right? Mm-hmm. We had our seats weren't that great. We were up in like a little bit below the nosebleeds, but you could see everything. Those seats were $400. When the finals came, when Toronto made it to the finals, those seats were $4,000.
Yeah, it depends on your season. I can remember going to had tickets to the Charlotte game. It was like $30 when they were crappy. When they start going that year that they went to the Super Bowl, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, there's something about that stadium that those guys play in, the Raptors, because I saw a concert there. We were in the nosebleed, but the way they built that thing, man, you still get a good view. You get a very good view. You don't have to look at the screen.
Mm-hmm. I agree. But just to say that I'm spending
that's a lot of money.
$4,000 for those seats.
But you know what? It's a moment because, in all honesty, Anzo, did you ever think a Canadian team would win the NBA championship? Never. Even when they had two teams, never did I fathom that it would happen, at least in my lifetime.
No, I get that. But it's not $4,000 worth of history.
No. But to those people,
what's ironic that he hates the player that brought the championship to his country.
You're right. I do. You do. I do.
And he left his team at that time to come to Toronto.
That is crazy.
Right?
Well, it was traded, but yeah. But at the end of the day, I mean, it was still Toronto would have been an experience, right? But I would have just stayed outside and watched the game from the fucking parking lot than to pay fucking $4,000 for. Listen, if it was $4,000 for seats on like on not on the floor, but the first level or close to that, then maybe I would think about that. But not.
I don't care if they say you sit beside Tom Brady when the defense is on the field. I'm not paying no fucking $4,000. That ain't happening. I must go have to hit the lottery and win about $400 million. Now, if I do something like that, I say, okay,
So wait, hold on.
I'd be like, man, Diesel, Anzo, I'm gonna send you some tickets. We're gonna meet up at the game. You sit beside Tom Brady. Y'all come on.
But you said
What?
You said 400 million. So you're telling me if you won $1 million, you wouldn't spend 4,000 to go see a game?
No.
What?
Because that's frivolous, man. $1 million ain't a lot of money now to last your lifetime.
I know it's not, but still, I would
The
do that.
only human being that I would pay $4,000 to see in his prime would be the man behind me. Other than that, you suck and win.
Which one? The first three or the second three, Danny?
What?
Championships. Of
Any
Jordan.
three. Any
No,
three.
but which, if you had one to choose from, which would you choose?
The first three, because I want to see him beat the Pistons. I want to be at that. If I go back in time, I want to see the game where they knock the Pistons out the championship and they walk by him. And I can stand beside Michael Jordan.
You're right.
I said, that motherfucker right there, you make sure you don't let his ass be on the dream team.
Phantoms on yourself, bro. Phantoms on yourself. I was watching. It's an old clip, but I was watching a clip on that the other day, and they were talking about when Isaiah got kicked off the team, you know, and then they showed a video of Scottie Pippen saying he didn't want to play with him, and Isaiah was like, "Listen, I get it if Jordan didn't want me on the team or anything, but he's like Scottie Pippen." He was like, "Pippen, yeah." He's like, "Pippen needed to sit his ass down," and he was absolutely correct.
I saw that on the round table.
What up, Chris? Yeah.
Hey, I'm heading home. I'm heading home just for a minute, and then I gotta head back to work because we got a nice little snowstorm here. Not much, but I mean, I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, that's like
flurries for us.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, it's been more. It was more earlier, but we got to get it all. The salt spreader stopped working, and I had to fix it. And I got a guy running it right now, and then I gotta head home, get something to eat, run back. So I'll stay on as long as I'm on the road really quick here, as long as nothing crazy's out here. But cool. So what are we talking about? I heard Isaiah, I heard Pippen, I heard Jordan.
Oh yeah, that was just a side topic we were getting into. We can actually go into the next topic now.
Next topic, number 3 is Paul George said earlier that he's just as good as LeBron. Let me take this off.
Blasphemy.
That he just
Who said that?
Paul George.
Paul George.
No.
He's just as good as LeBron, Durant, A. Davis, Giannis. I kind of indulged a little bit with Westbrook and Curry, but the only reason I did that was because he was saying that he were on that same shelf as they are, but he don't have. 5 of these people have the same thing in common. They're the MVP of the NBA. The MVP of the NBA. 5 of them are. One of them is one, and Anthony Davis. He won a championship, so he ain't got neither one of those 2 qualifiers. So I don't see how, in his mind, he could say that he's just as good as these 6 individuals. So go ahead with that, Chris.
Well, I mean, you got the point right there. You got MVPs, you got people with championships. If you don't have one of those, I mean, whether or not you haven't been on that good of a team or what the deal is, I don't know what teams he's been on. But if you don't have something that you can like say, hey, look, I've done this too.
He's been on,
and you don't have numbers to put up against those people's numbers, and your name doesn't come into conversation with those people, you aren't one of those people. End of story.
Yeah. He's been on Indiana, OKC, and now he's on the Clippers.
Okay, I mean, you know.
And his name will never be brought up as one of the greatest of all time. So
no.
I do not.
So yeah, I mean, you can bitch and moan all you want. You can say you're as good as everybody else out there. That doesn't mean you are. That just means you believe it.
But
he called himself playoff P.
Yeah.
He's more like a regular season P. In the playoffs, he shrinks.
But you see, I was going to say that, but Jesus Christ, Max made a good point that before AD went to LA, he did nothing in the playoffs. And Paul George did a lot more than AD did at that time.
Yeah, but AD's game stepped up. I mean, the last 2 seasons at least that I can remember, stepped up big time.
It did, but AD was like they were saying how Paul George was like taking LeBron to 7 games and doing all kinds of, because remember you had to play against LeBron a lot, right? So he was saying he was taking LeBron to like 7 games, and his teams were like almost in like playoff contention, where AD was just barely making the playoffs and stuff like that. So I kind of agreed with what he said on that.
But I would defend that by saying Paul George was in what they call the Eastern Conference, where the competition is not as tough. AD was on a sorry team, the Pelicans. He was the marquee player, really didn't have any help going up against the B. He said it's the West. So you got to give him a little bit because the West is a monster compared to the East.
Again, I agree with that. But at the end of the day, he was still going up against the best player in the league and was taking him to 7 games. You know what I mean? And Indiana didn't have such a great team either.
Indiana was going to be all right till they had that little tiff with I can't think of those. Sorry, center. They had the chemistry.
Yeah. Shit, I can't remember his name, but he's not even playing anymore.
Nope, his ass retired.
Hillard, was it Hillard or something like that?
Something like that. Let's go to question number 4. Will the big 3 go to the finals? I forgot to put the 3, but will the big 3 go to the finals? Will Durant, Harden, and Kyrie be able to gel together and take it all the way to the finals, even make it to the finals? What are your thoughts, Vin Diesel?
I would have to say yes next year.
Okay.
Because not that it was my team that did it, but it just takes one team to come up with a playbook to more or less shut down what everybody thinks is unstoppable. Because if you look what the Raptors did last night, they're not the best team in the league. They by far don't have a superstar on their team compared to what they played to. But they held Durant to, I think, 7 points and Harden to 17 points and Kyrie Irving to 11 points.
But I will make this argument.
I'm just saying that teams will look at that game and say, what did these guys do? How can we improve off of that? So it just shows that they're vulnerable.
I'm going to use a football reference. I think we all say that on any given Sunday, a team could have another team's number.
You're right.
On any given one game, a team can have somebody's number, but can they do that 4 times in a 7-game series?
You're right. It's going to be very hard. But I just look at the comparison to one team has 3 elite players. The other team has none. That's hard to swallow.
And I'm gonna put it down to this, because they have 2 great offensive presence, but what I've been reading up and their defense is
but I
horrible.
said that last week. I said their defense is going to be their demise, maybe.
Horrible. So that's one of the things that I was saying. Like if they don't play defense,
as great as they are offensively, they only got one defender out of the big 3, and that's Kevin Durant. But he expends so much energy on the offensive side. Is he going to be there to want to guard the rim like he did with Golden State? No. So I really think out of all 3 of these, Kevin Durant moved to try to prove a point that he could recreate the same kind of stuff he did in Golden State, which I think is a mistake. I will agree with the first time when he left OKC and went to Golden State, I was like, damn, that's kind of a chump move. But to me, they gel so good. If he's chasing rings, that would have been a logical place to chase rings. If him and Draymond didn't get along, man, on the offseason, it should have been 2 men and say, hey, look, man, you say I'm a bitch, whatever, and this kind of stuff, that ain't going to fly. Now, I'm willing to put that behind and let's go ahead and go forward, but something like that come out your mouth, we're going to be moving some furniture. That's what I would have done, because at the end of the day, I'm looking for my money. He's gonna get more, I think, off the court opportunities in LA versus in Brooklyn. Just my opinion. And I think he had a better chance staying with the Splash Brothers. They could keep Draymond and him in there. I think that would have been a better fit for him to win rings.
But that's the thing. They would have lost somebody, Danny, because there's no way they could have paid Clay, Steph, Draymond, and KD. Once someone was going to get kicked off of that team.
Well, Steph would have got a max contract. If Draymond would have won Defense of the Year, he could have been eligible for a max contract. But Clay didn't get it because he was pissed off because what's the little point guard that went from the Hornets to the Celtics, Kemba Walker.
Mm-hmm.
He beat him on there, and he was pissed off about that. And because Durant didn't start on that team, he wouldn't be eligible for a max contract. So they would have got rid of some of the more extra bags, I think, to keep those four intact, or at least I would have. But like I said, I don't know exactly the particulars of the salary cap, but I would have emptied my bench to keep 4 All-Stars, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it, but from what I was reading, they wouldn't have been able to. It was either Clay or Draymond Green that would have been have to have went someplace else.
Would have been like packing back Draymond. Sorry,
but Draymond's your defender, though. He's one of the
but man,
when's the trade deadline for them for the NBA
this year? Oh, I have no idea.
I have no idea.
It's because with what's going on, I have no idea what the trade deadline is.
Okay. Well, my thought process is they should go. Will they? Again, I said it in another show that you got 3 guys like this, and Danny, you said it, they got to gel. If they can't come together with some sort of an understanding, they're going to be fighting each other. Whether or not, I don't mean like fighting. Their talents themselves will fight and cause more of a problem on the court if they can't kind of figure it out. Okay, this is how we're going to work this out. But if the trade deadline hasn't passed, they might want to look at that like I said, a defender, but some guy that can come in, kind of pull some fouls, play a little rougher, but play the defense. They don't have to score. They just need to be there for defense. And if you shore up a couple things like that, I think they should go, but they are their own worst enemy at this point, and they will be throughout the playoffs. Because, like Vin Diesel said, if one team finds something that's a kink in that armor, they're going to exploit it until you fix it. Mm-hmm. And yet, over 4 games, they should be able to beat anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But 2 games go and you're down 2-0 because you didn't fix a problem. Next thing you know, you gotta really fight, and you can't have any errors.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think they're going to go, but it's up to them really to not fuck up.
On paper, it's too easy to give it to them because I don't think I've ever seen a team like this before.
Yeah,
no, you're right. We really haven't seen a team like this before. But we also got to remember too that, and we have to see how, because I know they won't need it, but James Harden, he really, always disappears when the big games count in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So now you have Kevin Durant to kind of negate that.
Back him up.
Yeah, to back him up and negate that. But at the end of the day, if he's not playing defense or the team isn't playing defense, like Giannis will run all over those guys.
It'd be something to see.
I agree.
All right. Next question. And I'm going to change my icon since we are transitioning into football.
Nice.
This was one of Anzo's questions. Let me pull that up. Where are you at? Question. Okay. Will Cam ever be a top 10 QB again in his career?
Hell no.
Yeah. Tell us how you feel,
I'm sorry, I sneezed there. Sorry. I don't know, like Danny, I'm part of this Washington group on Facebook. I swear to God, I tried so hard to hold back. They're calling out, we need Cam, we need Wentz, we need Stratford, listen, for me, Cam was a very good quarterback. I won't even say great. I'll say very good quarterback back in the day when he was big and strong, but he got distracted by doing all of this. And all of this, he just, it's okay. You can be who you want to be. But when the time comes to speak, don't shun the camera. You have to stay true all the way, good and bad. And right now it's really bad. And top 10 again, maybe if he was remotely close near the end of the season. But how many touchdowns did this guy throw this year?
I think like 7.
I don't think that much. I don't know, Anzo. I really don't believe it's that much.
Last time
because we had this discussion with Josh and we broke his heart.
Yeah, I know. I know. But I think when we had it the second time, it was like 7. I'll check though.
Okay. But sorry, top 10? Hells no. That's plural. Hells no.
I agree with you 100%.
Okay. What do you think, Chris?
He had 8.
8?
Yeah.
He must have threw 3 in the last 2 games.
He had 8. So
You there? Chris, you there? I guess you're not. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead with the discussion.
no problem. I was just gonna say, so him throwing 8. Now I get it. It may not all be him because New England didn't really have much, but man, you got to throw more than 8 touchdown passes. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you were MVP quarterback. You gotta throw more than 8 touchdowns. If you don't, then yeah, you never.
I think 3 things happened to Cam Newton. First of all, he got super cocky and pissed some of the NBA players off because every time he on their the logo in the stadium that he playing or in their end zone, he's doing all this right here and that. That pisses off them players. 2, when he went to the Super Bowl, he thought he was going to be able to run his way and do whatever he want to, but those games are amped up because it's your reputation and it's money on the line. So those players was teeing on his ass, and it shook his confidence. Number 3, I think he was injured, and the next year it seemed like everybody and their mama was teeing on his butt, and he wasn't fully 100%. With the injuries, lack of confidence, referees don't seem to be calling things his way because he's like the biggest quarterback in the damn NFL. Oh, you can take that. Kind of like how Shaq was. Shaq got fouled a lot, but because Shaq is 700, damn near 300 pounds playing, then he's supposed to shake up that kind of stuff. But a foul's a foul, a hit is a hit. So those 3 things, I think, and then I don't know what kind of personal issues he having.
But you don't think number 1 is a result of number 3?
It could be. I wouldn't know particular order. It's just the way.
No, I'm just saying, like you put it in perfect order. But I think number 3 is a result of number 1. When you start being cocky and disrespecting and maybe even saying boo to the refs once or twice, then now they turn the blind eye. Because I was one of the biggest guys protesting that it's not right what was happening to the Cam that year. He was getting killed, and there wasn't a flag thrown. And I seen Brady, they pulled the hanky out of the back of his shirt or something, and they threw a flag on that. And I was like, oh, fuck, is it that blatant? I was like, what's going on? They're really targeting this guy, and he's never come back since.
I mean, this is a simple kind of mathematical question in this sense. Can you name 10 better quarterbacks right now? There's Mahomes. There's Watson. Brady.
Aaron Rodgers.
Ben
Big Ben.
Who?
Ben Roethlisberger.
Kevin Buffalo.
Russell.
Maybe Stafford.
Russell Wilson.
Brady Quinn, not Brady Quinn. Oh wait. The guy
The
in
dude from Cleveland.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield.
Mayfield, the kid from the Chargers, the rookie kid. I would take him over.
I mean, so that's
so
that's
many.
what it is. Once you get to 10, he's out of it, and then you got to think how many of those guys are going to go away. So let's start with right now. Brady's probably going to be back. So Brady, Rodgers is going to probably be back. Rodgers.
We forgot
But you
Drew
go for the
Brees.
guys that have the tenure
Drew
that'll be
Brees.
dropping off. And once you take them out, are there two others to replace them? And if he isn't in that conversation, you start figuring out how much longer does he have that he can crack that top 10. And I don't think he's got it. It would take the perfect team that is exactly the fit he needs, and it'd be lightning in a bottle for 1 year. Is literally what he would have to have.
Yeah, I
He
agree.
deserves another chance. I can say that.
We forgot.
Well, yeah,
we
I'm not
forgot
saying he doesn't, but it has to be the perfect team for him, and I'm not sure who that is right now.
Yes, I think Zach will be back.
That's true. I was going to say maybe Miami, not even.
I mean, maybe the Lions, but the Lions don't have really.
They have
tons-
Stafford, you know? Why would they want him?
I thought they were getting rid of Stafford.
Yeah, Stafford is going to L.A.
L.A. and
I think I heard that too.
they're getting
Yeah,
Goff.
that's a done deal because they're getting and L.A. giving them a crazy amount of picks. It's like insane. Okay, next question. Tampa Bay, more weapons and the GOAT. KC has a prodigy and he ain't scared. So which team is it? Do you think that Tampa Bay has more offensive, defensive weapons? Do you think that Mahomes ain't scared of spotlight? He's going up against what some people say is the GOAT. Do you think he got nerves? You think this is no big deal to him? What are your thoughts, Anzo?
I'll be right back.
To be honest with you, I think these teams are actually pretty evenly matched at this point. I don't think Mahomes is scared. I don't think that. You know what I mean? If he's scared, he's not going to win. Plain and simple. If he's scared, he's not going to win. So I don't think he has that fear in him. He just got to go out there and play his game and take it as it is. You know, there's so many factors to winning a football game that he could play great. He could outshine Brady, but his defense doesn't show up, you know? And I also believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Tampa Bay does have a better defensive rating than Kansas City. So that could be definitely an issue for them. So I think he's going to do fine. You know what I mean? I said it before, I say it again. I think this game comes down to defense.
Okay. What do you think, Roberto?
I have to agree with Anzo. I don't really see any reason for, this is not Mahomes' first dance. They were there just last year.
Yeah, but he wasn't playing against the perceived.
No, I'm just saying. I was just going to say that he wasn't in the same circumstance, but he was there last year. So if anything, if I go back to the way how I thought when I was playing, I would be amped up. Mm-hmm. I would be like, yo.
So let me ask you a hockey question.
Mm-hmm.
You're on a professional hockey team, and your team makes it to was it Stanley Cup? Is that what they call it?
Stanley Cup,
Look at you, Danny. Look at you. Nice, yes. Yeah. Very nice.
And you beat somebody that's good, but not great, but comparable for whatever the championship be. But the next year, you played against Gretzky, who is perceived to one of the greats of all time. You would feel a little bit different because you playing against what you think in your mind is the greatest, and what everybody else is saying is the greatest hockey player of all time. That wouldn't change the stakes. It wouldn't change your nervousness at any level.
You want my truth response, or you want a response?
I want your truth response.
Me personally, I would be asking the coach to put me on when Gretzky was on. Because as I was telling my daughter, when I played sports, Danny, for whatever reason, I didn't compare myself to people. I just said I'm the best. Who am I comparing myself to? I don't know who is there to compare to because I already think I'm the best. And that's the way I play. And if I play like that, I can only give my all. Because if I don't, then I'm a hypocrite to myself. I used to play against who's questioned the second best or the best. You know how you have the Jordan comparison? Well, Mario Lemieux, I used to play against him when I was younger. And this guy is in comparison to say he's the greatest all time. And when I did play against him, I asked my coach to put me on the ice when I play defense. I asked my coach to put me on the ice when he was on the ice. I might have looked stupid a lot of times, but it's, I was up for that challenge. And
that's how you get better. You got to play the best.
Exactly. You have to challenge yourself to see if you're there with these people or not. Because if you're not, then you can't make mention of being like these people because he just brought you to reality. So if Mahomes thinks he's going to go in there and just say, like, it's like last year, guys, we're just going to come in here and play our game, he might be watching Tom Holtz up number 7.
Yeah, I agree. Or if he's scared, you know what I mean? If he's scared, then he's definitely gonna have Tom Brady.
That's what I mean. He would be scared because he's facing somebody who
I don't think he's scared.
I don't think so either.
But I think he got a different kind of nervousness, like a more excited nervousness than usual, because I know his mind is saying, and whether you want to believe this or not, man, if I beat Tom Brady, where's that going to put me? No, but some people say that they don't believe people think like that.
Well, they never played sports then, man. Fuck. Why would you think like that? How are you gonna win if you can't think? If you're defeating yourself before you play him, can I beat Brady? I don't know if I can beat Brady's gonna walk all over you. It's like going in the ring with Mike Tyson, and you know you're gonna get knocked out. But if you show him fear in your eyes, maybe he'll give you a chance, Dad.
Hey, let me tell you this. If I go in the room with Mike Tyson,
I know you and your Mike Tyson rat.
It's gonna be for an insane amount of money. And I'm telling you, the second he throws a punch, I'm on the mat. I'm looking at my wife. I'm saying there's money in the account. She gives me the thumbs up, and I'm out for the count. In fact, on my robe, I'm gonna have glass jaw walking into the ring.
But they tell you, Danny, if you show any signs of fear, that's the clause in this contract. You don't get nothing.
I wear some sunglasses. I'm in the ring. I'm the first person with sunglasses box.
You be having surgery taking one arm out the side of your head.
I want to ask this question. I think Cam should go to the Colts. They have a great offensive line. That is a very good place for him to land. I've heard the commentators said that if a quality quarterback goes there, they can be a Super Bowl contention as early as the first season. So
that would be a very good spot for him.
If Cam still has something left in the tank, that might be a good spot for him to go.
Because they got a running game there too.
But the question is, do any of you believe Cam still has something left in the tank?
I'd like to see Anzo because I thought he was given a chance. Thank God, because I don't think if New England gave him a chance, he would have probably even played last year.
Yeah, you're right.
Because no one jumped on him. But look what he had to play with. He had honestly, he had probably the worst offensive tools to work with. He didn't even have Edelman. Imagine if he had Edelman, he might have threw 9 touchdowns. But still, you know what I mean?
A question that comes to my mind: did Belichick choose him because there was no one else, or was Belichick kind of secretly wishing that maybe Cam would come back and have another MVP year, and so he could compete in this argument whether or not it's him or Brady? I think
it's both. I think it has to do with both. I don't think there was much quarterbacks out there at the time, and I do think it's like, okay, you try to go with the best of the field, and I think that Mahomes Cam Newton was probably the best out of who he had to choose from, or best potential.
I think they took Cam, so if they didn't have success after Brady, it wouldn't necessarily be after him because Cam played so awful, as Shaq would say. But at the same time, if he had success, then he would be gloating I can make anybody a good quarterback. So either way, he was
Yeah.
safeguarding himself by putting Cam in there.
I think Tampa did win the Super Bowl when Chucky was there.
Yes, they won a Super Bowl.
They won
They
one.
did.
I think when
Yeah.
Ron was Sapp still there too.
Sapp
Yeah.
was there. Yes, Sapp was there.
Doing his,
played the
his
Raiders.
Batman dance on the field, you know.
They lost
I
to the
remember.
Raiders. It was number one defense against number one offense, and because Chucky was the head coach of the Raiders the year before, they knew everything the Raiders were going to do.
Yeah. Even if he beats Brady, he's not going to be the GOAT. Not at this
That is
time.
correct. No, not at this
Not at
point.
this time, but
No.
10 years down the road,
Who
that
knows?
may be the deciding factor that makes him become the GOAT. So we just gotta wait and see.
I think if he wins more Super Bowls with less Super Bowl losses, and you don't give him the GOAT, then I have to say racism.
Being very biased.
Yeah, I have to say racism, man.
I agree.
Because how many did Brady lose? 4? He's
I'm
been
not
there
sure.
what? 10 times.
10 times.
No, yeah, he's lost. He's
Lost
lost
twice
3.
to the Giants.
He's lost 3.
Okay.
He lost
Because
one.
So this is his
1.
10.
He's got 6, so he's lost 3 so far.
So this
I'm
is
hoping
his
he
10.
loses 4.
He lost 2 to the Giants, 1 to the Eagles.
Yeah.
I agree, Flash. I think Mahomes has potential to be the GOAT, but even if he beats Brady, he won't be the GOAT. Like we said, not at this particular time, but maybe later on down life.
10 years
It
we'll
is a
have this
step.
conversation. In 10 years, we'll be on square one having this conversation.
It is a step not even a step, it's a notch in his belt to get to be in the conversation of the GOAT.
Cam is trash. Tell us how you really feel, Walter. I don't think he's
I second you. I second that, Walter. I do.
Cam can't throw past 7 yards. Cam only has 8 touchdowns last season.
Yep.
Cam hasn't been good since his Super Bowl season.
Correct.
I think since his injury,
Lost 3. 1-6. Okay, next question. On Skip and Shannon last week, Shannon said the Chiefs will win. Skip Bayless said he will not ever bet against Tom Brady. And he says that Tampa Bay will win. Well, he called it Tampa Bay. He don't call it Tampa Bay. He called it Tampa. So what do you think, Ben Diesel? Will is Chris right or is Shannon right?
I think Shannon's right. I don't know Chris, but he seems like a cheerleader. Is he a fan of Tom Brady?
Who? Skip?
Because I don't really watch those guys.
Oh, yeah.
Skip, yeah.
Skip loves Michael Jordan and Tom Brady. I think if he could make love to them, I think he might would do it. But I don't know who he loves better. Some days he seems like he's Team Jordan, and some days he's Team Brady. But it's 1A, 1B. Those are like his favorite too.
I feel like Shannon Sharp speaks from the heart. The man played in the NFL. He knows his shit, you know. He calls it how it is. I think Skip just jumps on bandwagons to get ratings or conversations because he says a lot of outlandish shit, you know.
And he's not consistent either. You don't remember.
No.
A lot of times he don't remember what he says because he said he has never said that Kawhi Leonard was the best player in the NBA, and that is a lie because he said it on Halloween, I think last year, the year before. He came out and said it, and then on top of that, he wore Kawhi Leonard sneakers, which he never the first time you ever not go on that show without Jordan. He usually wear Jordan every episode. But he hates LeBron so much. He hates LeBron so much that when Kawhi didn't go to the Lakers and went to the Clippers, he kind of gloated in that. He was calling the man number 2, and he finally started calling the man Kawhi again. He wore his sneakers. He said on that show that Kawhi is the best player in the NBA. He didn't say two-way because he kind of differentiate. No, he said Kawhi was the best player in the NBA, and then a few shows after, he said he never said that.
And then there's a video on YouTube someone clipped together with all of him saying all the times he actually said Kawhi was the best player in the league. So he said it plenty times.
Skip, I don't, if I remember right, I don't know for positive, but I don't think he's ever played a sport, has he? He's more of the color commentator, the
not.
statistics guy, right? Yeah, there's your problem. That's exactly what they do. I mean, every time, and I know you guys don't want to hear me say this, but in baseball, when we were in the World Series, in football, it's like we can't win because it's always, Jared Allen's going to do this, this, and this. I mean, and I understand they got bigger markets, so they're playing to the bigger audience. I get it, but that's what commentators do. They hitch their wagon to that big name, and Brady's the big name. I think Shannon looks at it more from the point of a player. Hey, I see this, this, and this from this team, and that's what champions are built of.
What's so funny? Go ahead. Sorry, Chris.
Well, what I was going to say is, with that said, it's difficult with what Brady's done to bet against him. Trust me. I want us to win, but I'm not just thinking that Brady's ever going to roll over. Man, there could be 2 minutes left. They could be down by 2 touchdowns, and I still won't think it's over. Because I've seen what Brady can do. I have. He's done some crazy crap before. So it's difficult to bet against that.
And I shit the bag too.
And I agree with that. I do think it's difficult to go against Brady, but I want Mahomes to win just to shut the fuck that Skip shut. Just to shut Skip up. Just to shut his fucking ass up. Oh my God. I used to like Skip, okay? I really did, because Skip was a Spurs fan. So all those times Skip used to be talking about the Spurs and this and that and all this good stuff, I'm like, yeah, Skip is the man. But after now, when he flip-flops with Kawhi and all that bullshit, he's a fucking traitor. And I want Shannon to shove every fucking good word he said about Tom Brady down his goddamn throat.
But the two things that got him all built up is because Shannon laughed at him. Because Shannon, who's the team that they played before? Skip predicted that he would go and beat Drew Brees, which he did, and Shannon pretty much laughed at him. And then Skip predicted that he was going to go to Green Bay and beat Aaron Rodgers. So that's why Skip was kind of feeling himself. But just because he beat those two, don't mean he's going to beat this third one. And right now, it is. I don't know. I see what Shannon's saying, and my gut is saying Mahomes is going to pull it out. But Skip makes a very valid point. It is hard to bet against that sucker because you don't know when the stars line up and everything's right and it's a perfect. That fool in the last 2 minutes of a game, he is deadly. So I don't know.
If you're gonna pose this question to me, Danny, who, if you were to choose of all the quarterbacks in the NFL to go up against Brady, it would be Mahomes.
I'll give you that.
So I like to see, I'm anxious to see this. If he asked me if I had a choice of any quarterback in the NFL to go up against Brady, who would it be? It would be Mahomes. Yeah. But of course, he has to bring his little toolbox of weapons along.
Well, I don't know, but I mean, what do you mean by that necessarily?
Out of all the other 32 teams or 31 teams.
No. The toolbox comment. What do you mean by that?
That's Hill and Kelsey, and he needs some other players.
You know what?
Until he shows otherwise, that's what he needs.
If you put Tom Brady against Patrick Mahomes in a skills test, who wins? Just one-on-one.
Obviously Mahomes.
Yeah, okay.
But if you take Brady in his prime,
the tools.
It's just, if you take prime and now and whatever, we could go back and forth all day because Brady in his prime, get Brady's stats in his prime and then Mahomes stats in his prime and make a comparison. And then you could really say, but you can't put Mahomes in his startup against a guy who should be retiring.
I actually have those stats.
Nice.
I sent it to Danny. Hold on, where if I can find it.
Are they even close? Because I don't even know.
They are extremely close, and Mahomes passes.
Very nice.
Here, All right.
So the
So
first 3 years of their career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, Brady versus Mahomes. First 3 years as starters. Starters, Brady 46, Mahomes 45. Passing yards, 10,227 for Brady, 13,868 for Mahomes. Yards YPA, yards per average, 6.6, 8.4. Touchdowns, 69 Brady, 114 Mahomes. Interceptions, 38 for Brady, 23 for Mahomes. 2 Super Bowl wins to 1. Brady 0 MVPs. Mahomes 1.
But I made this same argument last week that I think that's why Mahomes will be the GOAT, because up until this point, he's done a lot more than Brady. That's what I said last week, if you guys remember.
But
But
some
he still has a
Okay,
long way to
hey.
go, right? That's what you guys said, and I agree.
Can I give
But
you a
at
devil's
that
advocate
pace-
on that?
At that
Yes.
pace, he should beat it.
I'll give you a devil's advocate on that, and I can't believe I'm doing this because it's going to help Brady in a sense. Brady was in a different type of program. They were not a high flying offense. Mahomes is in a if it ain't there, find it, and that bodes much better for overall numbers.
But
Tom Brady was in an offense that was much more structured than what the Chiefs have. The Chiefs have a structure, but it's also designed that when the fire goes out of control and everything falls apart, find it, run it, find it, just do something. I never saw that from Brady, and it wasn't because I don't think Brady could do it. I just think that Belichick had a much better grasp of his. I mean, it just didn't seem as chaotic. So I think that kind of reined in Tom Brady's numbers. If you put Tom Brady at his prime in the Kansas City Chiefs offense that's currently here, he might have done it.
Another thing
Go ahead.
Another point I want to make too. Back there with Tom Brady, the NFL was more of a running league. Now it's more of a passing league.
But Brady never really had a good runner throughout his whole career with the Patriots. They've never had a good running team. Never.
Average.
At best.
Yeah.
And Tom Brady never had Hill.
Just because you never had a good runner doesn't mean that you still don't hand the ball to some bum.
No, but you do, but you're not going to run the ball as much as if you.
They weren't even in the top 15 per se running.
Right. I'm not just talking about having a running player. They were not good at the run. They just weren't.
And this guy still managed to throw the ball. So, they're coming after him, obviously, because they know there's no play action.
Hold on. I'll be right back. Hold on.
What up, Terrence? Terrence said I never seen that from Tom Brady either. I'm like, really, Terrence? You've watched Tom Brady?
No. that is trolling right there, buddy.
But yeah, at the end of the day, I get what you're saying. The NFL is different than it was back then as well too. But Brady was still putting it up there, man. And it just, when you see Mahomes, like when I watch Mahomes, it's like pitch and catch. His wide receivers are so wide open. The ball,
because he has so many. They're all fucking bullets. Hartman. What's that other guy I haven't seen in a while that was a stud receiver once upon a time? Danny was talking about him last week.
Hill?
No, we already know about Hill. There's another guy.
About Megatron?
No.
He plays with Kansas City now. I haven't seen him play for a while.
Talking about Kelsey?
No, I had him up.
Sammy Watkins.
Watkins, there you go.
Yeah.
Those are stud receivers, man.
Yeah.
Plus, he has the number one tight end in football, So
he may or may not be playing. He rested. Yeah, he rested the past 2 weeks. I think he was out the last 2 games of the season.
He was a stud in Buffalo, wasn't he?
Yeah, or was it
Could do
Buffalo?
nothing
I
this
think
year.
it was Buffalo.
I don't know, but I think he's going to play, but he's listed as questionable. I would just say at this point he will play, but yeah, we'll have to see. But even without him, I mean, if Watkins plays and can at least run a route and get a guy on him, they'll be better off
Yeah,
for sure. Hold on.
that'll give Hill a lot more room to run around.
Cascar, what are you smoking with this here? Man, you asking for the Phantom Zone wherever you at now.
Can you Phantom Zone people in the comments?
If I had the power, I would Phantom Zone. I'm not putting my time-
Technically, he could time him out, but that does bad things to you. It messes with you.
Boy,
So I would not suggest doing that.
Boy,
but
I'm looking at timeout and block user, boy. Oh, I'm looking at it hard.
don't use it. Don't use it because that's a lot worse than the Phantom Zone on a stream because that doesn't hurt your channel at all. Timeout, they track those things.
Okay, next question. Question number 8. What trailer do you think we might see? I'm hearing rumors that we might see a Mortal Kombat trailer, or we might see the Zack Snyder Justice League. So, which one would you prefer to see? You want to see both, but if you can only see one, which one would you rather see? And do you think we'll see them tomorrow on Super Bowl, which is, we know the commercial biggest part of Super Bowl?
If I can answer this, because I'm gonna have to get off here really quick. Of the two, I want to see Mortal Kombat because we've already pretty much gotten the Zack Snyder one. I don't know what else they're going to show us. They've shown us the upgraded Steppenwolf. They've shown us Darkseid. I mean, they've shown us the part where it's the Hall of Justice. I just don't think that there's anything they can do that's gonna be as much as I want to see bits and pieces of Mortal Kombat to kind of gauge what I'm going to think. Because there's a lot of questions behind Mortal Kombat that are, to me, more pertinent than what happens with Zack Snyder's Snyderverse. Because, if he gets another movie, fine, whatever. It's whatever it is. But Mortal Kombat, to me, is the next thing. And it can spawn a lot better of a run as a series if it's good. So I'm more interested in Mortal Kombat.
Okay. Well, I know right now the cost is about $5.6 million for 30 seconds. So if they show a 1 minute doggone trailer, they're looking at $10.2 million. Well, no, $11.2 million. So that's a lot of money. So
Are all three of them showing trailers? Because I'm a little lost on this question.
all three of who? Just two.
You mentioned. Oh, there's only two. Sorry.
Either it's going to be Zack Snyder Justice League or Mortal Kombat. Which one would you rather see? We want to see both of them, but if you can only see one, which would you prefer to see? The Mortal Kombat trailer or the Zack Snyder Justice League trailer?
I think we're gonna see both. I want to see the Zack Snyder sales trailer more than I want to see the Mortal Kombat because I don't like what I've been hearing about the Mortal Kombat thing. So
that's why I think you should want to see Mortal Kombat.
I'm excited to see what Zack Snyder did with that movie, man. That's what I want to see, because a lot of people, they trash Justice League, the original one. They trash Ezra Miller's portrayal of Flash, and I'm like, well, that wasn't the vision it was supposed to be. So let's see the vision that it's supposed to be, and then we can judge. Will it be good? Maybe not, but at least I want to be able to judge that movie for what it was supposed to be.
Well, for me, as a kid, I've always been a huge fan of Justice League. I didn't even know they were coming out with something. I would love to see Justice League if I had to choose between the two. But on the Mortal Kombat side, if they can make it realistic graphically, like a Rambo movie per se, I would sway my opinion.
Or if they do like they did the last animation, Scorpion's Revenge, if Scorpion is even at 50% like he was on there, he alone is gonna be a bad mofo, boy. Because I mean, Scorpion,
Really?
when you go to hell and you take over hell, I ain't never
That's
seen
a
no shit like
bad man.
that's a bad man.
All
boy.
right. Hey guys,
Later,
I
Chris.
gotta run. Good talking with you guys as usual. Thank you for having me on, Danny. I appreciate it as always. I'll see you guys. Well, I'll see Anzo. I'll see you and Danny tomorrow night
Yeah, man.
on the round table.
Yeah, man.
All right,
Peace
man.
out.
Be safe, bro.
Peace.
All right, peace out, man.
All right, gentlemen. Question number 9. Where should Mr. Watson go? Because right now he's being treated like a redhead stepchild in Houston. They took away number 1 receiver and Mr. Hopkins. They let Mr. Clowney go, who was a first-round draft choice. And it's just like he can't, like his offensive line just said, okay. It's kind of like on training day, not training day, but any given Sunday, when Jamie Foxx or Willie Beeman pissed off his offensive line and they just let his ass get hit. But in this case, Deshaun, to my knowledge, ain't did nothing to piss off the old line. It's like they said, fuck it. Hey, man, you got to do what you got to do. We're only going to give you 2 seconds where we should be giving you 5 seconds of protection. So where do you think he should go? What would be a good landing spot for him? Or do you think he should hang in there and stay if they offer him more money? I'm hearing who said that he should stay? Jimmy Johnson was on First Take last week saying that if he was a coach of the Houston, what's that damn name?
Texans.
Houston Texans, that he would take him to dinner, buy him a Michelob Ultra, and pretty much beg him to stay and tell him what he's going to do to improve his current situation. So, Anzo, what do you think?
I definitely think he needs to leave. I don't think he should stay there. I think he should go to.
Don't you say it. Don't you say it. Don't you say it.
What?
Don't you say it.
What? I was gonna say Chargers.
Okay.
No,
You
I
think
was gonna
so?
no, I was gonna say the Steelers.
I know you was going to say that.
Yeah, well, I mean, if Ben's about to retire, give him one more year. I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to play under Ben, so that would be probably a destination where
Timing doesn't work in your favor.
No, I know that. I know.
Not to mention climate. Who in the
But
world is playing that cold ass Pittsburgh? Fuck.
but if I'm the owner of the team and I'm like, okay, I have a chance to get Watson, then Ben, I'm sorry, but we got to go this route. They do it. NFL teams do it all the time. So I would do that. I would be like, Ben, if you want to stay and mentor him or whatever, we'll give you a little 1-year contract or whatever. If you want to go someplace else, we get it. But I mean, you can't pass up the opportunity to get a Watson type of player.
The thing is, because of what the demand's going to be, what teams are even able to accommodate that request? Because I would love to have him in Washington, but I'm not willing to give up young 5 first rounds, 3 second rounds. Hell no. Put Heineke in there and let's see what he can do this year. That's what I'm for. Because this guy is going to have a very high demand.
The reason why is because Washington, as it's currently constructed, if they had a quarterback, they still wouldn't go to the Super Bowl. But if there was a team like Indiana, for instance, the 49ers that need a quality quarterback, and like Matt Stafford going to the Rams, they're going to be Super Bowl contenders this upcoming season. So if Washington was currently constructed and they needed a quarterback, then I would give up 2 or 3 rounds if I know I had a legitimate chance of going to Super Bowl the upcoming season. I agree with you.
You're right.
If it's going to take you 3 or 4 seasons to do it, then you'd be fool to give away your future. But if you already had everything you need now,
in place to win,
but you need a gunslinger, hell yeah, I would do that.
But they're asking for the house, the cars, the cottage, your kids' royalties. And they're asking for because look what they got for Stafford.
Yeah, they raped LA,
That shit just
but
fucked things up, man. I know there was a big smile on his face when he saw that.
Yeah.
they decimated LA Rams' future. But I think LA wants to go to the big dance now
Because they see the defense they have.
So they like, fuck it, we want to go now. So,
but one thing I will say is a lot of people are like, oh well, this is what they got for this trade. But just because that's what that happened doesn't mean another team is willing to make that kind of a trade. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that the team was desperate and they said, okay, we'll give up whatever we do. But I think that's one of the reasons why there hasn't been a trade yet, because teams that really need him aren't gonna give up their future for him. You know what I mean? So we'll see.
Let's see what happens. I think
Well,
because his
Flash-
value is so high, I don't think there's many teams that could accommodate him.
Boy, Flash is on the kick today. No one will ever play on a Big Ben. He eats 10 McRibs per day and is constipated. And Enzo have no assets to get Watson. You must really be high. I guess you're trying to say, damn.
This guy.
Woo.
Hey, Flash.
Black, you're making a comeback.
I'm gonna say I didn't want you back on the stream no more.
Damn. What he said earlier. He said something else too. Yeah, they haven't treated him right, but people still think he shouldn't have requested a trade. For example, Geeks and Gamers keeps trashing him because they think he left because of woke media. Fuck them. They're thinking that Deshaun left because he's woke about something?
Yeah, they should have.
Shit, he's woke his ass getting hit every fucking Sunday more than he should be. That would wake me the fuck up.
Doesn't care about him.
I don't think he's talking about Deshaun Watson, because he's saying, yeah, they haven't. Oh no, okay, maybe I read that wrong.
They say he should have. Are you talking about Deshaun Watson, Flash?
I think he shouldn't have. Oh, okay. They think he shouldn't have requested a trade. Maybe. But why not? I mean, if you're in your prime and you want to win a championship, I have no problems with that.
Or if you're giving them, he's giving them what, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, something like that.
And they took away they let 2 of his primary weapons get away and haven't replaced them. So it looked like they just like, okay, you're gonna play and do what you want to do. I mean, you're gonna play 100% for us while we give you this garbage, and you're gonna like it. You're not gonna complain about it. No, that's why I don't have a problem with these players having more control of their destinies. If they're somewhere, and is there such thing as a super team on a football team? I don't know, but if they were to model some of the choices that the NBA players have, I wouldn't be mad at it, because those 31 owners, because Green Bay don't have owner. Those 31 owners don't give a damn. They give about, if it makes dollars, it makes sense. If that means we gotta kick you out, destroy your family, cut your money, whatever, they don't care. So if they don't care about potentially hurting my family and my way of life, then why should I care about theirs?
But at the same perspective, Danny, and not that I favor the owners or anything, but all I ask is that you honor a contract.
Exactly.
If you sign for 7 years, stay your 7 years, get that money that they told you were honored to, and then move on. Because imagine, on the flip side, I signed for 7 years. I have 2 great years. My 3rd year sucks. Should that team tell me, we decide we don't want to pay you anymore because you're not as good as the agreement that you were supposed to be good for 7 years?
I agree, but sometimes they do that. Sometimes they do that, Alonzo. So that's the exact predicament that Dak Prescott has himself in right now.
Yeah, because he's asking
get hurt.
so much money, Danny. Maybe they threw him money and he's like, I deserve more. Sometimes greed is a bitch, man. Come back and fuck you up, because he never thought that shit would happen to his leg. Now how much money now Jerry's like, hey, Dak, damn shit, what happened to your leg, son? It's too bad, but you ain't worth all that money now.
But prior to that injury, he was at MVP level. The same way he looked and saw his partner, Zeke Elliott, who was playing at an MVP level, did it similar stuff he did. Zeke didn't go to the training camp. He didn't come to none of those practices, none of those what they call them ETAs or something like that. He did none of that. He was over there in one of those tropical places with Eric Dickerson working out and stuff, but he wasn't with the team. He held out. Jerry Jones gave him his money. He came back. He ain't doing shit. So Dak said, "Damn, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander." Same thing. If we on the team and I see we all producing, but man, Diesel said, "Man, I ain't doing that. I'm gonna do this right here." And you get your money. Now I would be lying if I say, "Damn, if it worked for Man Diesels," and I'm the quarterback, which is proclaimed the hardest position in the NFL. Damn, how can this running back get more money than me and he get his money and I'm playing the hardest position and I'm playing at an MVP level?
Here's the flip side.
Okay.
You got offered your money before I got offered my money. You turned down the money you got. So the team said, oh, yeah, let's give this guy some money. He's asking for it. Just to show him he should be grateful what they offered him because nothing's guaranteed. Now I got my money and you're all sad because I got my money on my first try. They offered him, even though he held out, they offered him at the meeting table at the end of the holdout. This is what we're offering you. He said, I'm taking it. He didn't say, let's see, franchise me. I'm 100% with you, Danny. Dak deserves it. Dak deserves it a lot more than what's Ezekiel, sorry. And I agree. Dak is a much better to the organization than Ezekiel. Because I saw a lot of running backs come through Dallas and have shine and fucking they're dull afterwards. But quarterbacks, they haven't had someone like Dak in a long time, and he deserved to get paid, but he shouldn't have turned it down. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I hear what you say on that. But Ezekiel, at the time that he got his contract, was the highest paid running back.
Mm-hmm.
Dak was just saying, look, I ain't got to be the highest paying quarterback. Because I know I ain't good as Brady and others, whoever you want to name, but at least be in the same ballpark. To my understanding, he was not in the same ballpark as lesser quarterbacks who statistically was worse than he was. So I don't know if I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
That's the way I understood. You understood it the same way, also?
I think so. I think I heard something like that, but I'd have to go back and check. But it's definitely possible. I'm not 100% sure.
That's what I think he was holding out because other quarterbacks was getting these crazy damn contracts, and he was statistically better. So he's like, "Look, man, I got $30 million. And you only offering me 12? How is that fair?" So that's the narrative. What I think was happening. I could be wrong, but I get a lot of my information from First Take, Skip Shannon stuff, and that was the conversation I remember during that time. So if it's that, I agree with that. If it's what you're saying, then I see your point completely.
But you see, my thing is, and listen, if you got a 7-year contract with somebody, that's a long time. And if you're on a shitty team and you don't want to be on that team anymore, do your shit in the off season. You know what I mean? But when you start holding out and faking injuries like you can't play and stuff like that, and you're getting paid, that's what's bullshit to me. That's what's bullshit to me.
And demanding where you go.
Well, I see what you're saying. But
they really abuse their no trade clauses and stuff. They really abuse that shit now.
Question 10. Will Matt Stafford get the Rams to the Super Bowl? Will Matt Stafford get the Rams to the bowl? From what I'm being told and what I heard on the shows that I watch, that the Rams in fact traded Jared Goff, who I think is an excellent quarterback. He's on the front side of his career, and Matt Stafford's on the back side. But statistically, Matt Stafford has been stable at a QB level. I think he's always been the top 10 statistically. I think he just had
a very bad team,
a very sucky team, and I think that's the curse of Detroit because they've had arguably the best running back in the NFL in Barry Sanders. They had at one time one of the top 10 receivers in Megatron. So it's like they have good players, but they can't seem to put the right pieces around. So Matt Stafford's been there his whole career, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't think you should just stay some team your whole career just because they drafted you. I mean, there comes a time when you just gotta say I had enough. So I don't know whether he asked for this trade. I didn't read the articles or get that deep into it, but it's my understanding that the Rams gave them, like Roberto said, they gave him the cottage, the doggone summer home, the winter home, all this kind of stuff. But they feel like he is a quarterback that can instantly get them to be a Super Bowl contender. So do you think that he has skill set? You think he's the piece that's needed to get them to the Super Bowl? Your thoughts on that, Roberto?
I think he raises their level a bit, but I don't think it makes them the most dominant in the NFC East. Their defense is good, but again, they're questionable, just like Tampa Bay's defense, because there's defenses that alternate throughout the year. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 1. It's where you finish at the end of the season. The Rams are very good defense, but their offense was good as well. And I think they're a step up because I thought Goff was like compared to a Derek Carr. They're just not consistent enough. They're good. They have potential. Maybe they land on the right team with a good quarterback coach, develop the system around their game. Goff has potential to be very good because he's shined many times. But I think the Rams are in a better place now. But Super Bowl, no, I don't think so.
I agree with you 100%. I don't think so. We got Tampa Bay. If Brady comes back another year, they're still going to be in the running.
Let me ask you a quick question also.
Yeah.
Wasn't the Rams in the Super Bowl 2 or 3 years ago? When what's the running back?
Yeah, with Goff. With Goff.
Yeah.
What's running back from Georgia?
They traded him, or he left.
I know. What's his name? Gurley.
Todd Gurley.
So they pretty much got the same team, basically, with minus Gurley. And I think the running back they replaced him, I can't think his name. He was I had him on my fantasy league. He is not as injury prone as Gurley was.
But Gurley was a stud when he played for the Rams.
This guy too is a stud too. This running back they got now is a stud. I can't think his name. I'll find it. And then they got that receiver. I can't think of the wide receiver. He is good too. So I don't know. They may.
You think Super Bowl?
I didn't think Tom Brady could make it initially at first. I mean, I knew that if the cards lined up right, but based on his age, I was like, I don't know. He made it.
And I can kind of see where you're coming from. But, I mean, I think there's better teams now than when the Rams made it that time.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why I say it. Not because he's not going to be able to perform or anything. I just think that other teams have gotten better.
Their division got a lot stronger.
Yeah.
Very good point you make. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Their division got really strong.
Yeah, so that would be the only reason.
Good point.
I don't know if you saw that one up there, Danny.
What?
That blue one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Jordan, he on my bad side now. $2 super chat from Nin Jordan. Howdy, guys. I'm the Chiefs between the two. Okay.
We feel you. We feel you, Ninja.
I'm with you, Ninja.
Man, the hell with both you and Nin Jordan.
Did you hear what Bill Myers said on his last show?
No, what he said?
He goes, please do me a favor. Mahomes, kick fucking Brady's ass. I'm so fucking tired of seeing Brady this, Brady that, Brady this all over the fucking place. I fell off of the couch, man. He just came out of left field with it, you know? He's doing his monologue, and then all of a sudden, hold on a minute. Do me a favor. Mahomes, kick his fucking ass. I'm tired of it. I think he said his cock sucking something. He went off, man.
This is a radio show?
This is Bill Meyer. He has that show on HBO.
Yeah, Bill Meyer.
I got you.
I love him, man. He just says it how it is. Burn spliff too, you know?
You can say whatever you want to on the HBO. They don't.
Yeah. He got kicked off the ABC to HBO.
Jared Goff got traded because he was regressing the Rams. Saw that, so they traded him, and Danny Matt couldn't leave. It's not like the NBA. You just can't leave. I didn't say he could leave. I didn't say I know I would be trying to get the fuck up out of there If I've been how long Matt Stafford been there? At least 10 years. I'd be there. It's time to go.
Yeah, but well, that's why they hold out in the NFL. You know what I mean? Because they can't. It's not like the NFL, so they hold out. And some of these teams, man, they'll let you hold out for the whole year. They don't give a shit.
The Rams have the best defense, man. So if that's the case in point, then how is Deshaun Watson demanding the trade? How is he going to get there?
It all depends on if the team wants to. That's why I said it all depends on if the team wants to. Some teams will let you hold out for the whole year. Who did it? I can't remember. There was a player.
Pittsburgh, your team did it with Le'Veon Bell.
We did it too, but
And then
they do it to Barry?
Then they call the man a punk. You punk motherfucker. You don't deserve to be on the great Pittsburgh Steelers.
Damn right. Him and AB are both punks. They can both go suckers.
And that's why all three of y'all at the same place, home, watching the Super Bowl.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Except AB going to the Super Bowl.
AB's playing, and so is Bell.
So oh my Lord. So if they win it, oh my God. I just think, oh Lord, please.
But neither of them were neither of them were contributors. So I don't really care.
I'll be wearing the ring like this. Bong, bong, bong. I go right to Mike Tomlin. Bam! How you like that? Huh? How you like
and then I'd be like, oh, how many touchdowns did you score? How many yards did you get? Oh, none? Zero? Okay.
I'd be like, what's his name on my? What that say? Tampa Bay? What that say? Chiefs? Okay. What that say? Super Bowl champ? Okay. Peace, deuces.
But AB and Bell are such egotistical maniacs that the fact that they didn't score or didn't do anything, that bothered them. They didn't earn the championships.
I will give you that about AB.
Yeah,
I've never seen that. I've never
Bell
seen
just
that.
held out, asked for money. That's all he did wrong.
I've never heard anything off the court, off the field about Le'Veon Bell getting kind of trouble, whatever. The man, in my opinion,
but he was his locker room.
He was just trying
locker
to get
room distraction.
Was he?
Mm-hmm.
I heard it was nothing. The team was pissed because he just didn't show.
No, but even with the Jets, he was locker room distraction.
Good. You got good information.
But even with the Jets, he was a locker room distraction. Why do you think the Jets got rid of him?
I thought because he wasn't producing.
Where is my doggone Phantom Zone button? I can't find that shit.
True hurts. I get it. It's okay.
Good God, I can't find it. Okay, next question. Let me take this off first. Boy, I wish Chris was here for this one. If Brady wins Sunday, will he be cemented as the GOAT?
He's already cemented as the GOAT, so it doesn't change my mind.
Of course, we know our fellow panelists he's a GOAT. So I really asked this question for him. If Brady
just like some people think that Trump should still be president. You know, what can we do? What can we do?
No. So if he wins Sunday, yeah, I hear what you're saying. If he wins Sunday, correct me if I'm wrong, that'll be 10 Super Bowl appearances. That'll be 7 wins, 3 losses. That's a hell of a record in a league such as the NFL.
How many MVPs in that?
I'm not sure.
In that 6 that he have?
But he'll probably win MVP Sunday if they win.
Yeah, for sure.
It'll be some kind of comeback. I don't think they're gonna have no lead against them, or it's an early league.
It's like a Walt Disney ending, Danny. You know, the first quarterback to play in his home stadium and actually win. How could it get better than that? Unless he throws 9 touchdowns for 1,000 yards. You know.
Yep, you're right. He'd be the second quarterback of all that ever went to 2 teams and win the Super Bowl.
Is that why you want him to win, Danny?
I told you this last year. Last week. I like the history of it. I would like to say that I was here. I saw the GOAT, because I think he's the GOAT now, did this, and this. That would be forever etched in history. Something I could tell my son and my grandsons when I'm 20 years from now and they watch the football. Grampy, This quarterback is no, son. No, let me tell you about good old Tom Brady. He did this, and this.
So did you want to see them go undefeated that year then?
Who?
The Patriots.
No, I'm not really. Like I said, I'm really not really a Patriots fan per se.
I know, but that was a history-making moment.
Yeah,
if they
it
had
would have
went
been
up.
if they would have done it. Like if Pittsburgh would have done it, I would have been happy for them because that's something that's far few in between.
Mhm.
Well, I have really liked it or love it, but I would have been like, yeah, man. I had to give them their props. Pittsburgh did something that few teams don't do. To be undefeated and then go and win a Super Bowl, that is something I don't think ever been done.
Yeah, until they're the greatest for that reason, until it's tarnished, right? Until somebody does that. That's the greatest season ever.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
And if you say otherwise, you voted for Donald Trump. That's how we should leave that comment, right? We should move with that comment when someone says something very outlandish, you know? This is probably going to be the most neutral, most exciting neutral Super Bowl that I ever saw.
Yep.
Because for the reason Danny said, and the fact Mahomes, I know, is the next.
Mhm.
And I'd like to see him prove me right by being the next. So either way, I'm happy who wins. I just hope, because the last last two Super Bowls I passed out. So I hope I get to watch this whole Super Bowl. I hope it's super exciting. I can't promise you the halftime show, but I will try and watch the whole game.
Then you better stay away from that indica.
Got that right. That pity will take you down. Take you down.
Then Joy 243 says, "Cut it with the Mace Windu shit." I will not cut it because you have gone on many streams that talk about that you think Return of Skywalker is a great movie, and I have not ridiculed you about that because it sounds like somebody who's been drinking or taking some serious drugs. But when I make my little comments about Mace Windu, I got to hear the peanut gallery. So I will not cut it about Mace Windu. Okay.
I think I'm gonna have to agree with Ninja on this one.
Well, yeah, where you at? Where's it at?
Is that your new nickname, Anzo?
What's what?
Nas.
No, this is new nickname right here.
But you did it wrong. You didn't get rid of me.
Okay, I give you what you want.
Shit.
You got to do the Phantom Zone right, Danny. If you're gonna try and use a part of the clip that I used.
I try to show you some compassion, but I'm gonna give you what you want. Just like that saying off of G.I. Jane. Okay, I'm gonna give you what you want, but you ain't gonna want what you get. Boy, I love saying that.
That's nice.
That's one of my favorite lines of all time in a movie. Okay, last question. Last question of the show. Who is gonna win, and what do you think is gonna be the score?
Ooh.
Whoever wants to go first.
I'm going with Mahomes, and I'm going. Okay, I'm gonna go 30. No. Defense. Shit. I go 24-27.
Okay.
When you say that, huh?
Indeed.
Mhm.
I was gonna say Kansas City 27-14.
Okay.
I'm going with Tampa Bay. I think it's going to be 34-36. I think Tom Brady's going to make a drive, get him in field goal, and they're going to win by 2.
Okay.
So you guys have no faith in the defenses. Those are some
It's
big
going to be a high scoring game.
No, I do have defense. That's why I didn't go 30s because I think
neither did I, but I'm talking like I think one of these two teams defense is going to shine a little more than the other.
maybe.
And if I have to give it to anybody, I have to give it to Kansas City because Brady's 40 years old, and if they come at him too hard, he's not very mobile.
I think he's gonna have something to prove.
35-17. Are you mad? Are you crazy, gay Scott? Hell no. And you gave it to Tom? No.
You obviously watch soccer.
Yeah.
You're messing with the wrong football, son. This is American football, not soccer.
Let's see. Antonio Brown didn't play the full season with Tampa, and he had to adjust to the playbook. So
I know that. I'm just saying.
Pittsburgh Sissy QB has to go to AA meetings for his Big Mac and McRib addiction. Damn. Deshaun said, the only way the Chief I want to win the game if they sign Eli Manning. Damn.
That's the only way Eli gets some notification. Huh?
Basco said, we will see.
Yes, we will.
He said, shit can happen.
Not tomorrow.
He said, and Caleb said, God Scott, nah, bro. You on OK, Enzo Weed? Is you okay? Enzo Weed? Okay. Bosco said at Caleb, LOL.
What did Caleb say?
If he's high on your weed.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Oh, okay. Got you. Yes. Caleb asked that. Okay.
All right, people. It is close to 2 hours. I got to go ahead and get on the road. Me and my wife are going to visit our daughter. And
safe drive.
Nice.
About a 2-hour drive. We'll get on the road, spend the night, come back tomorrow. But I definitely enjoyed the pre-Super Bowl show. I will definitely watch tomorrow, see if we can catch one of those exciting commercials. I hope we can.
My nephew was watching. I forgot to tell him this is adult content sports show. He was watching it with his little one, and he had to flex. He's going to give us some more love, or a little more love next time, without his son, of course.
Good deal. Flash say Tampa Bay will win 37-30.
Tampa, eh? You're joining that crew. Tampa.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what Skip calls them, Tampa Bay.
Shadow.
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 What's up, Shadow? We ready for that Chase show, man, whenever you get it ready. Flash said, great guy show. Glad I came back.
We're happy you're back, brother.
Again, yeah, I want to definitely give a shout out to Alternator. He has been a fantastic mod. He has come on all of my streams. And I put in our links and stuff. Thank you so much, man. You are definitely worthy of the wrench. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
And like I said, until next Sunday when we will discuss and break down the game, the Super Bowl. It's going to be young gunslinger versus old gunslinger, who I like to call the GOAT. So we will see.
I think I might do a Super Bowl watch party now that I check on it.
Okay, might be cool.
Yeah, that might be just
I'll swing in. Send me the link.
Yeah.
About the only way you're going to watch something together now, man, this damn COVID is going to clamp down.
Yeah. And I just wanted to say last night I dropped in on Austinator stream, good stream. So I want you guys to sign up to these guys. Nindroid Austinator. You can put your information in the chat, put Nindroids in the chat, you know. You guys had a good show last night.
All right, people. Till next Sunday. Well, correct. Till next Saturday. Peace.
We ain't got no more words for brothers that be stepping in. Friend.